The Lazy Girl's Fun Adventures. Zaza was the champion of doing nothing. While other children in the village of Oakhaven were busy climbing trees or racing bicycles, Zaza preferred the fine art of the horizontal lean. She could spend an entire afternoon watching a single ladybug walk across a leaf, or wondering if clouds tasted like lemon sorbet. Her motto was simple: why run when you can walk? And why walk when you can sit? And why sit when you can nap? Her best friend was a very round, very sleepy cat named Pippin. Pippin agreed with Zaza's philosophy entirely. Together, they spent most mornings in a sunbeam on the rug, stretching their toes and yawning in perfect harmony. "You see, Pippin," Zaza whispered, "the world moves too fast. We are the only ones who truly understand the beauty of a long, slow blink." Pippin responded with a loud, vibrating purr. One Tuesday, a sudden gust of wind blew a shimmering neon blue bird through the open window. This was Brio. Unlike Zaza, Brio was a bundle of frantic energy. He chirped at a speed that made Zaza's ears ache and dropped a crumpled map made of silver candy wrappers onto her lap. Brio pecked at her toes, hopping back and forth with impatient twitches. "I'm not going anywhere, little bird," Zaza groaned, trying to pull her fuzzy blanket over her head. But Brio was determined. He grabbed the corner of the blanket in his beak and began to pull. To Zaza's absolute shock, the blanket didn't just slide, it began to lift. It hovered a few inches off the floor, glowing with a soft, golden light. Brio chirped a command, and the blanket zoomed toward the window with Zaza still on top of it. The blanket soared over Oakhaven, gliding through the cool morning air. Zaza found that she didn't actually have to do anything. She just had to lie there and enjoy the view. They flew over the chocolate hills and across the fizzy river. "I suppose," Zaza shouted over the wind, "that if I have to travel, a flying bed is the only acceptable way to do it." Brio did a joyful loop-de-loop in response. They landed in the forest of whispering snacks. The trees here didn't have leaves. They had giant glowing gumdrops and long crunchy breadsticks. Zaza's stomach gave a loud rumble. She realized that she was actually quite hungry after her flight. She reached out from her blanket to pluck a purple gumdrop from a low-hanging branch. It tasted like sunshine and grapes. To find the great treasure, Brio wanted to show her they had to cross the marshmallow marsh. Usually, Zaza would have turned back, but the ground looked so soft and squishy that she couldn't resist. She hopped off her blanket and began to bounce. Each step sent her flying high into the air, landing softly on the sugary ground. For the first time in her life, Zaza was actually running, and she was laughing. At the edge of the marsh, they encountered a massive stone giant named Grog. Grog was sitting in the middle of the path, looking very grumpy. "I am too tired to move," Grog rumbled, his voice like falling rocks. "And if I don't move, you can't pass." Zaza looked at the giant. She knew exactly how he felt. "You aren't tired, Grog," Zaza said. "You're just bored of sitting the wrong way." Zaza spent the next hour teaching Grog the ultimate nap position. She showed him how to stack the softest moss under his neck and how to tilt his head to catch the perfect breeze. Grog followed her instructions and let out a sigh of pure bliss. "This is wonderful," he boomed. To thank her, Grog picked Zaza and Brio up and placed them gently on his shoulder, walking them all the way to the Golden Peak. At the Golden Peak, the treasure wasn't gold or jewels. It was a view of the entire world, stretching out in a tapestry of colors. Zaza realized that while she still loved a good nap, she also loved the feeling of her heart racing after a long climb. Brio flew her back home just as the sun was setting. Zaza crawled back into her bed with Pippin, feeling tired in a brand new, wonderful way. "Tomorrow, Pippin," she whispered, "we might actually go outside."
Hey friends! Wait! More exciting episodes are on the way. But before that, don't forget to hit